Hey guys, I'm Kieran.
And I'm Brandon. And today we're going to be talking about the most essential items for newborns. And the reason we're making this video is because there's like a lot of items that we got or bought that we didn't really use that much. So we wanted to make a list of our top items that we think are the most essential items that you're going to need for when you're having a baby. And so that hopefully you guys don't waste money like we did on some stuff, on some things. So let's get right into the video. So our first thing on the list of like our most useful items that we purchased is Velcro Swaddles. These came in really handy because the ones that you just do yourself without the Velcro, if you can get them tight enough, they work well. But the issue that us two had was getting them tight enough, and he would kind of, like in the middle of the night, or like when he got like a little bit older, he could break out of it, or it would just kind of come undone, or he could get his arm out, and then it kind of just defeat the purpose. But the Velcro ones allowed us to get the swaddles like really tight, where he wouldn't be able to get out of it, even when he was like 6 months, when he started getting bigger and everything and stronger. He still couldn't get out of them. So those were really useful for us.
When changing Cameron at night, we found it very useful to use reverse zip footy pajamas. So they unzip from the foot up to their neck. It makes it easier at night, and I mean just in general to change their diaper, and they just fit very nicely.
Yeah, they also like, he kind of got hot at night, so we didn't use an undershirt or anything. But the reverse zip kind of is nice because it keeps him like, obviously his top can still be kind of like covered, like his chest and stuff can still be covered.
And it's quicker for when like you have to take their arms out, or if you're changing them.
Yeah, they're definitely
It's easier.
really nice to have compared to the top down zip. But another thing that was really useful was a bassinet, because they recommended for us to keep him like in our room with us for the first year, and a crib's kind of big and our bedroom isn't like super big, so the bassinet is really nice for saving space. And then we got a pack and play that had a bassinet and a changing pad that you could put kind of like on top of the pack and play. So we did that, and that's really nice because when he gets up at night, you could kind of just throw him in the changing pad real quick and then change his diaper and then put him back in. So it kind of just is super quick. It keeps his routine and doesn't like allow him to really like wake up. But another good option is the Snugapuppy bassinet that a lot of people recommend, but they're a lot more expensive. So if you are interested in those, they have like, I think they have a sound machine like built in and other stuff as well. Like I think they like vibrate or something. There's a lot that they do. So if you're interested in that, you can look them up.
We recommend getting a car seat, base, and stroller all in one. That's what we did.
Yeah, these doing it this way tends to save a little bit of money. If you buy like separate of each of the base, the car seat and the stroller, it gets a little bit more expensive. And also, we got the Chicco KeyFit 30 base and the stroller, and like everything that, so the car seat fits into the stroller. They do have the car seats that kind of unfold like into a stroller, which would be really nice for saving space and everything, but they're a little bit more expensive. So we went this way, and it's just super easy to just take him right out of the car, like in his car seat, and just put the car seat into the stroller. So that's really nice.
What's been really helpful at night with Cameron is we have a sound machine, so it plays different sounds. It has lights that project on the ceiling, like a little slideshow for him to watch, and it's amazing. He actually doesn't wake up until it turns off most nights, which is great. So you get a full night's sleep, and it just like relaxes them.
Yeah, and something crazy actually, like if if the power, like we've had power go out a couple times at night and like say midnight or 1 a.m. and if the power goes out and the sound machine turns off, he actually like wakes up right away. Or if he's taking a second nap of the day and it's getting towards like time where we want to wake him up, then we can just turn the sound machine off and he'll wake up right away from that too. So that's kind of crazy. But another thing that is really useful, or has been really useful, was the swing and or the bouncer. So these are kind of like similar things, but obviously the swing swings him back and forth. And that was the one that he liked the most, because we got both. And we tried the bouncer first, and he wasn't all that into it. But the swing is definitely something that he really loved. Just so if you could kind of just put him in the swing and do dishes or laundry or whatever you need to get done around the house. But so for a bouncer, they typically will possibly make noise, like a sound or something, which ours did, and it will vibrate as well. So I don't know. Obviously, every baby's different. So I would recommend maybe trying both. If you only want to get one, that's okay. If your baby isn't super into it, maybe try the other one.
When Cameron was a newborn in like 3-4 months, we would put him on a play mat, and it has like things that hang from it and sounds and makes colors, and it's just something nice that he can learn to roll over onto his stomach then, and just have him get used to the fact of being on his stomach.
Yeah, he didn't really like tummy time, and we do have hardwood floors, so like we do have like rugs, but you could, like, the playmat would definitely add a little bit more of a cushion from the floor to where he's laying, so that's nice. And then also, like she said, if he's laying on his back, there's those sensory things around that would help him learn as well. I don't think a newborn essentials list would be complete without diapers and wipes. So for diapers, we tried both Pampers and Loves, and we found that we tried Pampers first, because that's kind of what we thought were the best from what the reviews online, and they worked fine. They were great. But then we heard from people that we knew that Loves worked really well for them. So we tried Loves, and of course they are a good bit cheaper, which is nice. And we feel like for us they work just as well. I know some of the complaints online about Loves were like that baby would leak through pretty easily, but we didn't have that issue too much with the Loves, so we would recommend possibly doing Loves if you want to save a little bit of money as well.
Cameron has like sensitive skin, we noticed early on, because he would get really like red and like get rashes when we use certain scented wipes. So we switched to just like WaterWipes. That's just like 99% water, and it's been great. They're not as soft, but they work just as well. A good tool to have is a bottle drying rack near your sink. It just keeps everything organized, so your bottles aren't just laying around everywhere or taking space up on your counter. You can have them all neatly and just let them dry.
Yeah, another thing with the drying rack as well is like we have one that is like a 2-tier tower type thing, and it kind of makes it super compact and save space on like your counter or wherever you have it. And I also will have links to like pretty much everything that we talked about in this video down below. So if you are interested in anything, you can take a look at that. But something else that would probably be on most people's newborn essentials list would be a pacifier. I know some people don't want to use them, and some do. We didn't use it for a while because when we were leaving the hospital, they told us that not to use them because they could kind of interfere with his latch and maybe make him not be able to latch when feeding. So we were kind of a little worried about that, so we just didn't use one. And I would say like maybe a month in or something, my sister-in-law, who is a nurse, told us that was like completely false and to go ahead and use it. So
worked wonders.
yeah, we right after she told us that, we kind of just used it right away, because sometimes like they can't really do anything. They just kind of know that sucking motion, so it kind of just distracts them from everything, gives them something to do.
Cameron didn't like the round ones. He liked the ones that are more flat.
Yeah, more flat.
Just
Yeah.
can, like, rest in his mouth. It's good to note that me being a dental assistant, I don't recommend them using the pacifier past 1. It really can shift things around more. It's not really needed. Cameron, we weaned him off it early on, and he hasn't had one since, and he does just fine.
Yeah. He didn't really use it too much, but it was pretty easy to get him off it. Maybe a couple months ago, probably around like 8 or 9 months, I would say, is when he like completely stopped using it, which definitely is good. Like she said, not to use it past a year is what she'd recommend, because they can have. Did you talk about that? Like teeth things?
Yeah, the teeth can like separate, and it can cause a lot of issues down the road.
But on to the next thing, we think that the Boppy lounger is something that is very useful. These have like really good reviews online. They're really nice because if you wanted to kind of just lay them down and maybe not be in the swing on the bouncer, you can put them in the Boppy lounger, and it kind of like it has the way they're made. It kind of fits perfectly with their body, so they're kind of like tucked in comfortably in there, and then you can, like we said before, do stuff around the house or whatever, and they can just kind of be chilling and be comfortable.
And even if you're giving them a bottle and they can like hold it up themselves, like
Yeah.
it's nice to just prop them up against something.
Yeah, and the Boppy's kind of the way they're angled, it would be like his head would be up further than his body, and you could definitely do that as well.
We recommend using free and clear detergent if you think your baby might have sensitive skin, or just kind of in general. I know Brandon talked to a dermatologist.
Yeah.
And they recommend that we use that, even for us, because Brandon has sensitive skin. So that's all we have been using. Nothing with scents.
Yeah, I think we got like the Johnson & Johnson like lavender one or something at our baby shower, and I think my mom had heard that it wasn't great for babies with especially like sensitive skin. So, and that's what I have. I have sensitive skin. So I talked to my dermatologist, like she said, and they were like, yeah, we only recommend using free and clear. Pretty much any brand, as long as it says free and clear, is okay to use.
I personally recommend getting a bathtub that could fit in your bathtub, a small bathtub for your baby. Ours had like a newborn side that it just like laid back, and there was like a little hammock for him to sit in.
Yeah, it's like a little sling.
And then the other half of it was when he got a little older and could sit up, but not like fully sit up by himself yet. So it really helped me in the bath, and I didn't have to fill up the tub, and it was just nice to have.
Yeah.
And of course, it's always good to have baby soap and shampoo. They make really good ones for sensitive skin. We use the Honest brand. They're very organic, and it smells great.
Something that's really nice to have as well is like soft blankets, for a couple different reasons. First, they tell you not to have like heavy coats on them in the winter, because basically
When you're in the car seat.
Yeah, if they're going in the car, because the car seats won't. I think the around the shoulders area doesn't get like as tight because the coat's like padded or whatever, and they could actually end up like getting out of that in an accident. So they tell you not to use a heavy coat. So we use like a lighter jacket and then use a soft blanket, in the winter.
And it's also useful, like if it's windy or even raining.
They put it over top of like the car seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it blocks like rain and stuff like that, so that's good. And then one more thing about the soft blankets is that even like around the house, if they get, if it's, they can sometimes get cold in the house, of course. So if you have them like laying around in the Boppy lounger or the swing or the bouncer, definitely just throw a blanket over top of them and they should be good. So definitely recommend soft blankets.
All right, guys, that's everything. We'll have everything that we talked about listed in the not the comments.
Description?
In the description below.
Yeah, and also if you found any of this information useful, feel free to press the like button or subscribe button down below as well. But we'll see you in the next video. Peace.